This one, I mean, I read this headline and I thought it was from The Onion. I didn't realize it was an actual headline. Stitch Fix is pivoting to sell more clothes directly to customers. CEO's next step is to spread the word. Like, oh, no shit.
That's the
Is that
headline.
what
That was the
that's the
headline.
headline. That
Oh my
is
God.
actually published by a retail industry news source. So according to
Can't make this
CNBC,
shit up.
no, Stitch Fix has opened its direct buy option to the public, meaning customers do not need to be a subscriber in order to purchase individual pieces of clothing or shoes from its website. Again, meaning yes, they should probably spread the word about that if you're not a Stitch Fix customer. It's a shopping experience that they are calling freestyle, and Stitch Fix hopes that it will boost profitability in the long run. Stitch Fix CEO Elizabeth Spalding told CNBC it will take some time again for consumers to know that it's out there. Are they just setting themselves up for failure? This is crazy. But Chris, as you'll notice, we have not had our put you on the spot question from A&M yet.
Oh,
And
great.
so this is coming at you because I
right.
know that you love customized clothing from Stitch Fix. Chris, A&M wants to know, is Stitch Fix move to sell clothing directly to consumers who are not a part of their subscription program an extension of their current model and critical to driving more profitable growth? Or will it hurt them as they move away from their core reason to be and now need to differentiate themselves in a broader playing field of fashion retailers? Kind of like what we were just talking about in the last one.
Yeah, it's a good question. Wow, it's a good question. It seems like Stitch Fix makes our list of topics pretty regularly because like it's been very comical actually to watch this unfold over the last year and a half. I don't know. I think, does it hurt their current line of business? I don't think so, because that doesn't really feel strong. And I don't feel like it cannibalizes that in any way. I feel like you can do both of those effectively well. I think I'm curious to see what you think too, Han, but I just have a lot of questions about what's going on here in general too. I would add, like, first of all, from the CEO's perspective, she's been on the job, I think like 100 days or something like that. Her background is really interesting to me. She was like a lifer at Bain for 22 years as a management consultant, which I think is interesting in juxtaposition to A&M and the question too. But like, that's not exactly the pedigree, specifically to turn around and run a brand new e-commerce company in a lot of ways. I mean, she's probably had a lot of exposure to that, but like, it's an interesting hire to me. I'll just say that, man. I'm curious your take there too. And as a result of that, the move kind of smells like a consulting move to me in a lot of ways. It's like, oh, we're going to come in and broaden out our e-commerce assortment. We're going to use our data and our data science capabilities that we've touted forever with our Stitch Fix box to be able to serve up, more goods to customers, which seemingly is kind of stalled out. It just seems like something just right off the tree from like a management consulting 101. And so then the part I have is like, you're going to reinvent e-commerce for clothing. Like, are you really? Or did we already do that? And it's called Instagram, which is your line, really. I think I stole that from you. So I don't really get this.
It's okay.
It's just another canary in the coal mine for me, which I've said a lot of times on this company. But what do you think? What am I missing?
I almost gave up after the headline, Chris, but I dug into it last night.
Yeah. I'm sure you found some
I'm going to
cool
shock
stuff.
you, but I actually like this experience.
Do you?
Better than the Stitch Fix concept in the first place. Now it's not likely as going to be as profitable because, well, I don't know. It's kind of hard. Like they're paying to ship product but I mean, because the product is not in my home and now I have the onus is on me to return it if I don't want it. I think lots of people just ended up like keeping tons of stuff that they never ended up wearing. But for me, I mean, this experience is pretty cool. You still are getting a unique experience on a regular shopping site of like, here's one blazer and now it's showing me like 15 other outfits that I could pair it with based on all of this data that they have about me, continuously evolving as I'm shopping. So if I were Stitch Fix, I'd actually start looking at licensing this as like a SaaS play for other retailers, like who sell the same product. The product that Stitch Fix has is not unique to Stitch Fix. I think like I just walked through the new EVEREVE store. They have a flagship store that they just built in Edina. And I think that if you were to license that technology to an EVEREVE where they could use Stitch Fix, like Stitch Fix and EVEREVE come together and you can help me like find items within the store and then bring that down to my local store so that I have the option of getting that today if I wanted to versus, waiting for it to be shipped to me. or if I wanted to try it on that day and take it home. I think there are some other like partnership plays that I'd be exploring here before I just said, I'm going all in on Stitch Fix e-commerce.
Yeah, that's interesting. And actually, when you look at the CEO's background, I think she's an advisor to like a fashion data science analytics company too, prior in her background. So that kind of fits in the mold of what you're saying. But I don't know, that feels like a dime a dozen to me too. Like we go to the trade shows all the time. There's thousands of companies that are playing in that space. So
I think they do it. I was surprised at how well they did it though. I will say based on me and, coming in and trying it again for the first time after several years, I think that it could have some potential. But again, then you get into acquisition costs. Like how are they going to find people? I have to do this because I'm a retail researcher, but how are they going to get, like 50 of my mom friends to get back on this bandwagon and jump back in? It's going to be tough.
Yeah, but you're 10, like Mickey Joyce always said, you're 10,000 people. And so maybe, it caught you, maybe it'll catch other people and it'll catch on, it's hard. It's hard to say, but I think net to A&M's question, which was a great one. I think it's fine for them to explore. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of risk to me on this one. And I think you'd agree, right, Ann?
Yeah, we'll see what the OmniTalk effect is on Stitch Fix's business. Maybe we're bringing more people.
Right. Yeah. Right. They listen to the podcast. They're like, "Ooh, Ann's onto something. I need to try it out."
Oh,